TSM weren't supposed to win the 2022 Six Invitational.
TSM, early exit.
No roster moves since the middle of last year, so Achieved, Bolo, Chala, Geo, and Merc, you'd think would have had enough time to perfect their formula by now.
TSM, they've definitely had a rough year for sure. There's a lot of pressure on TSM.
They had to play qualifiers to even make it. Their roster was stale. But most importantly, they lost when it mattered most. Time and time again.
Rampy finally getting some action in Geo. He's been cut off. If he goes down, that's it! Space Station Gaming takes control of the series.
TSM had the potential to be gods. On paper, they were one of the best Siege teams in the world since the moment they formed. And yet, at Siege's World Championship, they kept falling short.
And surely this is going in the direction of Liquid Bolos through the smoke. Palu has no idea. As they come through, it's Nesk and Sexy Cake. I'm sure you can hear Team Liquid in the background. They win.
TSM came into SI 2022 ready to prove they had what it took. But to the doubters, they were still the same team that just couldn't win.
If it wasn't for the qualifiers, TSM wouldn't be in the grand final right now.
But where others saw stagnation, TSM saw a roster that spent a year and a half learning how to play together. Where others saw a team that wasn't supposed to win, TSM saw a chance to learn from defeat. And where others saw a team destined to lose, TSM saw a chance to win it all.
This could be an easy pick for him. Flashes go in, but they sail over his head. He's immune to all of them. Read so well by Bolo, and he's got two of them with the diffuser down, a third, but no, Dan walks away from that. Chala picks up 2 big kills. It's all up to Chala, but Dan can't get it. We're going to overtime again. Oh my God, these teams. I hope that you don't have anything in your hands because I'm throwing them up in the air if it's up to me.
Alright folks, before we get into the video, I just want to remind you all to please sub to the channel and turn on notifications if you haven't done it yet, because it really does help. We are super close to 2 million subs, and you could be the person who gets us there. And yes, I mean you, the person who is watching this video right now. It's gonna be you, and I believe in you. Okay, so TSM Siege team is a rare story in esports. Esports as a whole has changed a lot in the last couple of years. Teams don't really toil in obscurity anymore before getting a big break and then winning it all out of nowhere. And yet, that's exactly what happened to TSM. Their longest tenured member, Achieved, spent 2 years trying to reach the highest level of competition through Challenger. The team played Season 9 of Pro League for Accelerate Gaming, before looking to the future, a new org to sign with, and potential roster changes to make. Achieved, along with his teammate, Fault, even got an invitation to try out for Space Station Gaming's roster.
During that time, we figured we'd get an org, but there's no guarantee to that. There's no guarantee to what you're going to get. But I ended up going to them for like a week, and then I was like, I don't like this. I'm going to go back to my team.
Part of the reason for Achieved's change of heart was that another opportunity came up. Bolo, a soon-to-be 18-year-old content creator with insane mechanics and a dedicated fan base, reached out to the team with an idea.
Bolo didn't follow like a lot of people on Twitter and everything, so he followed like all of us one night, and I was like, oh, I know what he wants, Finding an org to represent everything is gonna be a lot easier with him, because he's a bigger name and everything. And Bo came to me and he's like, listen, bro, I can guarantee we can get this. It's fine, blah, blah, blah. If you want to come back. I was like, yeah.
Bolo joined the team in time for the start of Pro League, but despite his incredible skills, a lot of people wondered if his insane plays on stream would translate to a real match.
Apparently we were like the only team like really interested in him, I guess, because a lot of people were, very skeptical because there was a big thing going on that like Bolo's gonna he's good, he has good aim, he has good mechanics, but is he gonna be good in like a comp setting and stuff like that?
Another critical pickup at the time was Merc, the all-important Ashe main and entry fragger. And adding Geometrics in late 2019 brought a wealth of competitive experience from his time on Evil Geniuses, as well as a reliable and knowledgeable support playstyle.
When we first picked him up, we just knew that he has a bunch of experience and that he could like help guide us and just mold the team, and that we could learn a lot of things from him.
The team exploded onto the scene as instant fan favorites. They were scrappy underdogs backed up by insane firepower from one of the most popular personalities in the game.
It's all Paulo alone now in the 1v2 to keep Liquid alive. As he comes down yellow stairs, there's no chance. North American, you have another champion at DreamHack.
Oh no, not like this. Oh, Hyper falls too. That was a double from Chala, a fourth from Achieved. It's all down to Skies. Is it on the flawless round? No, it's not, but it's a triple for Chala. That's 23 kills. Michael Jordan for TSM out here.
Now, fan popularity and domestic success are one thing, but the real mark of competitive success in Siege has always been winning the Six Invitational. And in that respect, TSM had always come up short. In 2020, they finished third behind Ninjas and Pajamas, and were forced to stand by and watch as NA clinched its second ever Six Invitational win.
We were definitely upset, but yeah, I mean, we were just really happy. Like even though like we didn't get it, we were really happy with like our performance, because that was our first Invitational for 4 of us. The only one who's ever been to an Invitational before that was Geo.
Then, after a rough Pro League season, TSM were eliminated at SI 2021 by Team Liquid, who went on to take second to NIP.
It sucked, but at the same time, like, we were the last team standing from every other region but LATAM, so it wasn't that bad. Like, I think we did really well, especially if you consider like stage before that. I think we were all like just really happy with that event, because it kind of showed that, like, you know, we still got it and everything, and you know, we obviously got a lot of mistakes we got to figure out and stuff like that, but like, our core fundamentals and stuff are all still there to win us games.
After 2 years of trying, TSM just didn't look like they had what it took to be the best team in the world. And it didn't look like SI 2022 was going to change that. Brazil's recent dominance led to even more amazing Brazilian teams. There were 6 at the tournament. Then there were Team Empire and BDS from Europe, both of whom had the potential to go deep. But besides the competition, TSM had a bigger problem. They had a pretty weak 2021, and when all was said and done, they just barely missed the cutoff to make it to SI. TSM had to play through the regional NA qualifier to punch their ticket to Stockholm, which was enough to make everyone doubt their ability to perform at the actual tournament, even if they did make it. But this was a team of grinders. They'd started from the bottom before, and the doubters weren't about to stop them now.
TSM have the crossfires. This really doesn't look accomplishable for Melton. He has got to get the 4K of his life, but Achieved will achieve it from long haul, true to his name. Dark Zero, Space Station, Oxygen Esports, and now TSM are going to the Six Invitational.
Still, even with their spot in Sweden secured, there was a hard road ahead for TSM.
To some degree, there's a number of unknowns coming into this competition about them. Everyone would have seen how they performed in the closed qualifiers. My God, did they make it look pretty easy, apart from the second to last game, in which it did come down to a matter of a few rounds. But then going into the final, they absolutely cleaned out their opponents.
We knew that group would be tough. Obviously, BDS wasn't at their full potential, but you know, we knew it would be tough, and we just ended up taking it one game at a time.
And to make things more complicated, the team made a pretty big change heading into the tournament. Not a roster change, but a role swap.
Now, it's worth talking a little bit about TSM because they have made some changes coming into this competition. Achieved has moved away from being the go-to IGL, and Merc has taken up that spot. What was interesting for me in the last round was they said the main reason for that, Bolo is more the entry and Merc is now the flex player.
So what we did was we moved Bo to the primary entry role because, you know, Bo's nasty, one of the best teamers in the game, so why not?
And so it may just hinder his ability to deny a plant here. Merc tries to find one, but Pamba manages to cut him down. Immediate trade comes in. Geo's getting the plant down, Des. Somehow TSM have been able to steal inside a site and may just steal the round here. Bolo knows there's a challenge to be found, and boy does he find it. 3 on the round for him. Going absolutely wild, taking Hyper down. Cuts Eclipse as well. 4K for Bolo, easy for TSM.
So now that Merc's like calling, instead of him like having to tell like yo Bo, like play Ying and let's try to do this and do all that, he can just say, yo, I'm gonna play Ying and let's do this, you know what I mean?
But despite all the hype, things didn't get off to a great start. TSM squeaked into the upper bracket after a 3rd place finish in their group, and no one really expected much from them after that. But despite their shaky initial performance, TSM went on a rampage.
It's 4 versus 2. It's all falling apart in the last second. Moosey gets one back, but he's got to go absolutely huge. Geo with the shutdown. TSM stop NIP in round 12.
He's not moving anywhere. He's going to keep himself put. Surely he knows where. He knows. He knows now. Surely he goes for the pre-fire. Does he get it? Oh! Merc comes out on top. NA come out on top.
A 3 versus 2 with Geo trying to sit the diffuser. Nesk coming in towards Bleepers. Big C4 over the top, but it gets shot out. Resets is down. Nesk has got to do it all. Bolo steps up for the challenge. It's a little bit of a 1v1 on the close angle. The Bolo wins and sends them further into the upper bracket. Liquid drop down to the lower.
TSM's run through the upper bracket at SI 2022 wasn't just a massacre. It was personal. On their way to the upper bracket finals, TSM beat the 2 Brazilian teams that eliminated them from the last 2 SIs. It looked like the party was gonna stop there though. TSM took a close loss to Team Empire, who were easily among the tournament favorites.
And it's a 4 versus 2 going for TSM into the post plant.
Geo's out in the open, but now down on the ground here. Achieve with a position in Cool Vibes, though. Catches one of the members of Empire. He's got so much to contend against, though. A direct fight at the top of Cool Vibes is waiting for him here. He spotted the player in the corner of his eyes, but it's not going to be enough. Always shuts it down. And Empire are your first grand finalists of the Six Invitational 2022.
That loss dropped TSM to the lower bracket, where yet another Brazilian team, FaZe Clan, stood between them and a grand finals rematch. But FaZe turned out to be more of a speed bump than an actual wall.
Holding up towards dining side and then starts moving his way down as the round progresses. The problem is his team are getting hammered on site here. Charlie's down to half a cheese, steps up and gets a big 2K. I spoke about that flag, making it 3. Absolutely nuclear from the north side and leaves Souls. He's got about 40 seconds to play with as well, Tim, so I would argue, not in a massive rush. He can take a few extra seconds here to get himself in an ideal position, but Achieved is waiting a huge 4K in the rounds.
I think somebody has now dropped themselves onto blue stairs, and that's going to be a big help, but here come TSM. Straight into sight. There's Merc gets one, Bolo gets one, Merc another. Achieved. Surely this is over. 5 versus 1. It could be another flawless round to close it out for TSM. And what a message the North American side are sending here on Chalet Cyber. He's looking for anything he can get. He knew there would be nothing. Charla finds the shots into the back. 3rd flawless round for TSM, and they take map 1 in quick fashion. It's 1 versus 5. All the hopes of LATAM rest on Astro's shoulders right now, and he is opening rotations. He's desperately moving. He's trying to do anything he can, but there comes the final kill, and it's a flawless round at the end of a flawless performance from TSM.
Nothing is going to prepare you for a team that looks this good. Barely dropping around against FaZe, a team that just 3 months ago were the best team in the world. I can't wait for this grand final. It is going to be a screamer between Empire and TSM.
TSM dominated FaZe, but the grand finals weren't just coming up. The matches were all happening on the same grueling day.
After we won against FaZe, I gave everyone a hug and everything, but even like Gotcha, one of our coaches, and Merc were like, dude, are you gonna smile? Like, dude, we're in the grand finals. And I was just like, nah, you know, like, it ain't over yet. Like, I want to win this thing. Like I'm happy, obviously, but like, you know, I would just say I was fully focused, honestly. Like, I wasn't really focused on anything else.
Going into the grand finals, it seemed like Empire's game, but TSM were ready. They weren't going to settle for second anymore. This time, they had to win. What fans got was one of the most exciting grand finals ever.
This is dire straits for the Russian team, knowing that the match could be over or the map could be over if Joystick doesn't pull out ahead. He has a single bit of HP, and Chala says, no you don't. TSM steal Empire's map away, and they take Clubhouse. The Yokai can move into position. All they need to do is get it into the right spot. Shepard is almost completing it, knocked away, 2 seconds to go. And Geo can stop it! What a good bit of teamwork by TSM!
But Cypher, well, what can he get?
Oh, hold on a second here. We need a temperature check on this TSM team. Merc might be able to get one, and there you go! What a performance from Merc! 14 damn kills and 7 damn rounds. TSM TSM take map number 2. They're 1 map away from being SI champions. Scyther walks away with 1 HP. Good coverage. That's Diffuser almost down. Geo in a 1v3, but Empire, they want to send this to map number 4. They just need a tiny bit of Geo's HP and they're going to get it. Empire not letting TSM sweep. You put those brooms away, ladies and gentlemen. There's an upside down repel. Merc doesn't know this, always should be able to get an easy pick. And the diffuser from Scyther going down leaves Chala to try and clutch. He won't be able to do it. Empire refused to die. They're on match point.
Merc now falls back off. Geo, similar story. Gonna try and kill 1 drone each and see what we can do. No, we're gonna run away, but Geo gets, he gets flustered. There's too many angles, too many guns. Doesn't know exactly where Empire was. Cypher's on the 4 window, and one gun extra repel, but Cypher finds another, and TSM are falling apart.
That is one round that I will like 100% remember, because we were you know, gonna go to bank if we didn't win that round. It was a 5v3, like, you know, things weren't looking the best in the middle of the round.
The Hibana popping up, but Polo looks the wrong way. This could be an easy pick for him. Flashes go in, but they sail over his head. He's immune to all of them. Read so well by Bolo, and he's got 2 of them with the diffuser down, a 3rd, but no, Dan walks away from that. Chala picks up 2 big kills. It's all up to Chala, but Dan can't get it. We're going to overtime again. Oh my God, these teams. Still, it's a 4v4. Empire have plenty of time to work with, but they have to tackle these shields. Bolo in his position will creep up. There's still an upside down repel. Scyther has a diffuser. It's a double kill from Achieved. What are we witnessing? Always upside down, and he's gonna bait it out because nothing will happen. TSM move to championship point. It's a 5v1. If there's ever been the time for a flawless round, it's now. Everything on the line for TSM. What a year it's been from them. And it's all now Shepard to try and stop it. Empire have come so close before, but they've fallen short, and they'll do so again. TSM said, trust the process. The process just won you a world championship. TSM are your Six Invitational 2022 world champs.
They come through the open qualifier. They had no chance at making here besides that last option, and against all odds, as one of the lowest seeds at this entire event, they've done it.
As TSM lifted the hammer and claimed their first Six Invitational win, it was more than just an individual victory for their captain or their superstar. It was a testament to the fact that where you start off doesn't define where you end up. Challengers, qualifiers, even content creation, none of it matters. And while other teams shuffled trying to find that winning combination, TSM simply decided to double down on playing their hand differently.
You know, if they don't have a good event or whatever, they end up like dropping some people and making roster moves and stuff. So the fact that like we didn't do that, and we just kind of stuck with like our core team and just did it the way we wanted to is really special.
The payoff wasn't just a championship. It wasn't just an MVP award for Achieved either. The man who grinded with this moment in mind for years. It was the opportunity to look around at the team as they lifted the hammer, to know the struggles they faced, and more than anything else, to understand how those players grew to overcome them all.
I think it goes to show that even if you have a bad event or two, like, you know, you can bounce back and regain that motivation and play well again and stuff like that. So I think that was really special for us.
Thanks for watching. If you want more content like this, hit the sub button and ring the notification bell. For unique bite-sized videos you won't find anywhere else, hit us up on our Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.